Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Carey. I am the Associate Director of Career Development in the CCPD. That's kind of the acronym that's used across campus, but our office is called the Center for Career and Professional Development. I'm usually joined by my kind of counterpart in the office, Evan Young, who is the Associate Director of Employer Relations. And he sort of manages, working with the employers for students who are interested in full-time internship, fellowship type opportunities and creating recruitment opportunities. And I'll talk a little bit more about what my team specifically does and how we'll kind of engage with you throughout your time here at RPI. So to give you an idea of just kind of the talking points here, just CCPD information and resources, things to have on your radar in terms of the services that we provide, events that we provide throughout the year. We'll show a quick demo of Handshake. It's our new career management platform that we launched last July. So how to use that to really virtually engage with our office and develop a relationship with your career coach. Understanding a little bit about today's job and internship market and what that could mean for you moving forward as you search for opportunities down the road. Understanding a little bit more about our resources that we have in terms of where our students go after they graduate, and then give you plenty of time to ask any questions of me about our office or the services that we provide for you. And then I'll put my email in the chat box that you could always follow up before you even get here to schedule a virtual meeting to talk through how to really set a solid plan ahead for how to best utilize our resources and kind of keep things on your radar so that maybe you don't miss a boat in terms of opportunities that are available to you. Here's just our general contact information. So we are located in the DCC, Darren's Communication Center, and kind of the basement underneath the Starbucks on campus. It's probably the easiest way to kind of understand where we are. We do have plans to be fully in the office in the fall, but we will also fully have a virtual component in the fall as well, with extended hours of availability. So we're started a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. accessibility scheduling system this year, and we plan to kind of keep that moving forward. So if with your work or academic or social calendar, it works better to engage with our office kind of outside of the 8 to 5, we will absolutely accommodate what works best for you. We know especially graduate students maybe fall into that category maybe more than others. I'll put my email in the chat once this is done, but just our general email is also a good resource to use, ccpd@rpi.edu. That usually is about a 24 to 48 response time, just depending on the time of the year and how busy we get. And you can always leave a voicemail and we'll respond back to you. And I'll show you again how to get into Handshake to make an appointment. So here at the CCPD, we have sort of 3 different teams that you'll probably engage with throughout your time. You may not engage as much with the employer relations side, as they're the ones who are going out and building relationships with employers, recruiting them to post opportunities on Handshake and attend employer events, plan the career fairs that we'll talk about in a little bit. But they're also great people to work with or just know that we have that service for. If you have questions that you might need us to kind of advocate on your behalf to an employer, a situation where maybe you have a verbal offer, but you don't have anything in writing, like how can we reach out to them on your behalf, right? So we have that team. That's a huge team that's kind of growing at the university so that we can build more geographic relationships as well. Experiential learning team. So this is most valuable if you are planning to do an internship or co-op, and they help with the registration component. If that's any kind of CPT, if you're an international student, helping you make sure all of that administrative services are all taken care of, that you're registered appropriately, that we're vetting through your offer letter to make sure it's legitimate, and supporting you while you're away on your internship and co-op as well if things come up that you might need us to help you with. And then just really helping you think about, like, how do I talk about this experience after after I graduate or after I complete the program, or how do I start that conversation about that being potentially a pipeline for employment, right? And then the career development team is probably who you'll engage with the most. We are kind of the student facing group. So we will be the ones that you'll be able to schedule appointments with through Handshake. If you stop by our daily drop-ins, we participate a lot in class presentations. So there's a few engagements you'll have with members of our team as part of your classwork throughout your time. And maybe have like a resume assignment or something like that. So you'll definitely see us across campus and have the opportunity to develop a relationship with us. I think it's a good practice. We're currently at about 4 career coaches. And so it's a good idea to maybe once you've found somebody that you feel like you have met or you connect with, to really kind of have that person be your point of contact throughout your time here. If you stop by drop-ins or make appointments with other people, it loses some of the value of being able to really help you through your process, right? Because the more we can understand you and understand what you want your experience to look like after you graduate, we can better set up systems to help support you throughout your process in terms of creating benchmarks of, by this point in your time here, maybe we should have done these things. And then also to have a better values connections with employers that might be a better fit for you, right? Or as we see opportunities that come through from employers, we can say, oh yeah, I've been working with this student. I think this would be a good fit, right? So if that's me, if that's somebody else that you're going to meet in the office, just make it a point to keep them on your radar, right? Check in every semester, make it a point to say, every semester you could have something to update in terms of a resume or interview preparation. So before the start of every semester, before things get busy, I'm just going to make an appointment with my career counselor just to talk, just to touch base, right? Those are good practices to have throughout your time here that'll make a big impact. Because if you think about if you make a half an hour appointment 4 semesters, it's 2 hours of your life, right? But that's 2 hours that we can really understand how to support you in the most effective way. Feel free to ask questions as we go. I think I can see when a kind of a chat box a chat appears in the chat box. So feel free to put in the chat, but also feel free to take your microphone off and ask a question as well, or hold it till the end. That's completely fine as well. So services that we offer in terms of if you were to make an appointment on Handshake, so major in career exploration. So like, what can I really do with this degree? There's more kind of names for a particular job now than ever before, right? Like something that used to maybe be account manager now has 300 different names that could be. So some of it's just understanding what types of jobs and position titles I should be looking for when I'm starting to think about that process. And when a lot of students come into a program, they're kind of thinking about an internship first, right? But what we really want to be thinking about is actually like post-graduation goals and opportunities we want, and looking even at the start of your time here at full-time opportunities you want, because that helps better guide us on what types of internships will help you in skill development and also just clarity of if this is a good path for you, right? So some of that career exploration pieces, developing your application materials is a great kind of starting point with your career coach. That allows us to understand this, like kind of the story you want to tell employers, and us to help maybe paint that in a way that would connect well to employers or kind of the outside industry. A lot of students make appointments just for a general job internship or co-op search. If you're not sure where to begin, having a hard time finding opportunities, want to leverage networks and helping you with that, those are all things that we can help you with through that process. Probably our most underutilized service is interview preparation. This is a great thing, as I was saying, make that kind of semesterly appointment. Interview prep is a great thing to just kind of practice as you have free time. And we'll talk about some virtual services we have to help you with that, but that's a great thing to kind of start prepping early and have that engagement early with our office, because what usually happens is students don't ask for interview prep help until they have an interview lined up, and then they have a week, right, to figure out how to really best prepare for this specific opportunity. But if you're kind of gradually working on that, then that's something that you'll feel more confident when you do get that interview opportunity that you're prepared. Accepting offers and salary negotiation. It's a pretty open and competitive job market right now. So we're seeing a lot more people being effective in their negotiation and strategies. So understanding what those negotiation practices look like from a legal standpoint, what that looks like. Or if you have multiple offers, what kind of are your rights, or what are things to think about when you have multiple offers on the table? And if you're applying for further education, supporting you through that process as well, and everything in between. Sorry, I think that hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Okay, so anything else in between that might be applicable to you in that situation, right? If you want to make a first appointment, maybe you just make that first appointment for the career exploration option. And we just talk about what designing an effective plan for you really looks like throughout your time here. Again, experiential learning, that's coop@rpi.edu. I will put that email at the end as well so that you can reach out to them. Once you have an internship or co-op lined up, you'll want to work with them to make sure everything is okay. And we also have plenty of virtual resources that we plan to continue. Virtual career consulting, we'll do that even when we're back in person. We have a Discord platform where we post opportunities and updates. So you can find us there if you use Discord. Interview Stream is our service that we use in terms of preparing for maybe the virtual interview component, or if you just want to practice on your own time. And you can find all this information through Handshake, which I'll show you. Virtual employer information sessions and panels, we'll show you how to find out all that on Handshake. And we do offer, it used to be daily workshops, and those are all recorded and you can find later, but now we do weekly workshops, which I'll share a little bit more about as well. So we do have a graduate student programming series that we do. So it's once a month, there'll be a different career topic that's specifically kind of tailored to the graduate student experience and how interview preparation or salary negotiation is going to look different maybe for a graduate student versus an undergraduate student, right? And those are all recorded and available to you for later viewing, but keep that on your radar as you utilize Handshake and continue to check out Handshake for those opportunities. We can help you with case interview preparation, and we have a networking event planned in the fall for Lally, which we're finalizing the date, but that will bring in employers for both a networking and recruiting component just for Lally students. And then we usually do school-specific newsletters every week, but this coming year we'll have a graduate student-specific opportunities newsletter. We'll be able to connect with you about opportunities that are posted that are specific for graduate students as well. These are just examples of different workshops that we have, a variety of topics that are available to you as you're preparing. Employer events, employers will do information sessions where you can learn more about those companies or industries. Some of them will do tech talks, so it'll be folks maybe who aren't there from a recruiting perspective, but you can understand how those companies or organizations are kind of adapting and changing to new technology, or they're sharing their perspective or input based upon that, a new platform. So tech talks you might see. We do hope to have some kind of an on-campus recruitment experience for the fall. We're waiting on some guidance for there. That might be smaller information sessions, or it might be off-site to RPI, but still accessible type of option. So we may have some on-campus recruitment, but as we go back to having a fully on-campus recruiting experience, that might not be the case for this fall, but maybe for the spring or the following fall to have the in-person events. There is a fall career fair and a spring career fair. The fall is planned by a student group, Nesby Shep, and this year it is September 22nd and the 24th, so it's a Wednesday and Friday. It's usually Friday, Saturday, but this year it's a Wednesday, Friday, and it'll be held virtually. And there's about 130 employers who attend that event. When it's in person, it's closer to like 150, 160. But it'll be on a virtual platform, and you'll hear more information about that. So just keep checking your email for information on that career fair. And then we do our own spring career fair as well. And we also will have networking events and recruiting events throughout the fall that are school specific or industry specific as well. So keep that on your radar. I think most of these are things we talked about. We do something called Resumemania every year, and it's leading up right to the career fair, and we bring employers in to review your resume, employers, alumni, staff of the CCPD. So how it'll work this year, it'll be done through Handshake, and you'll sign up for a 15-minute session with an employer of your choice, and they'll be able to give you feedback on your resume. So those are just things to, as you are reading your emails from Handshake, to keep an eye out for the registration process for that. We have daily drop-ins. Right now they're every Thursday all day. But when the start of the semester comes, we'll have daily drop-ins in our office. You could stop by anytime during that time period each day for quick questions if you don't want to schedule an appointment. And then we'll have employer information sessions on there as well. I won't go too much into this. This is all on, we have a new website actually, so all of this is pretty easy to find on our new website and on Handshake, and I want to make sure we have time to really go through Handshake, so I'm going to kind of search through here. So Handshake is a great platform. It's our recruiting and job posting system. Maybe you work or were at a school at another university that maybe used Handshake, but here you can make an appointment, search for job postings, request an on-campus interview or a virtual interview scheduling system on here. Upload a resume. We have a resume book that we'll send to employers as they're looking for candidates. So it gives you kind of that back entrance way to talk to recruiters. You can see all of our workshops and employers events, and you can also connect with students at other universities. So I'm actually going to share a little bit about Handshake, just to show you from kind of the front end. So when you get a Handshake account, this will be kind of the main page. So attend an event. This will kind of be customized based on what's here. So reply to people who maybe messaged you. And it's just like a Netflix or any other kind of platform. Like the more you use it, the more you will, like your main page will be customized to the things that are interesting to you, right? So if you click Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Career Center, this gives you some of the resources that we have that are custom to here. So if you click here, these resources, this will take you to some of those different links that I was talking to you about. Those workshop recordings, future plan survey, our Discord link, interview stream access. These are all different resources that will be available to you at any time. And if you want to schedule an appointment, you would click appointments here, schedule a new appointment. So let's say here, job and internship searching. You'd see here we have appointments as early as 7:30. And you can make it, we have plenty of appointment availability happening. So, right, so you can meet with any of staff members. If you have a specific preference, you can see just that person's availability as they go through. And then you'll click here, select what kind of appointment you want, email, virtual, and then just give us a description of how we can help you. So that's how you would go about making an appointment when you get onto Handshake. You can request, if you're a new student, I don't think it's integrated just yet, but you can request an account right now, and then just email the CCPD and let me know that you're incoming, and I'll approve the account so that you can start having access to these things as well. And then you can see here through the filters, our job board here. There's some work authorizations if that's something that you need to consider, somebody who will accept OPT or CPT or will sponsor you. Specific majors, so it'll, again, as you're using this more, it'll customize it. It'll tell you if there's somebody who has worked there or posted the position, you can send them a message. So this is a really cool kind of platform. Learn more from this job poster. It'll tell you if it's newly posted. You could always go back and save it for a later date. You know, a good thing that you can be doing this summer is to go through, I don't know why that, is open there. You can go through and see employers. So if you go to employers here in this tab, maybe there's some companies that you're really interested in. So say here you were interested in Procter and Gamble. You want to try to follow those companies that you're really interested in, because what will happen is you'll get an email notification every time they post a new opportunity, or they schedule an information session, or register to attend one of our career fairs. So it keeps you kind of in the loop of the companies that you're interested in, and their recruiting here. So go through here, find companies you're interested in, and just follow them for that. You can also then see jobs that are posted. Students who have used the Handshake platform that have interviewed with them or worked there can tell you about the interview process. So this is a great way to do some interview preparation, and also write reviews about their experience being an intern there. So if you were applying for maybe the finance internship, you could go ahead and read more about those opportunities, and then ask them more about the experience, right? You can send folks a message and connect with them. So it's a great tool to use, now to just start exploring a little bit about things that might be appealing to you. Under events here, you'll see some of our workshops that are coming up. You can use specific filters for things that you're interested in, if it's employers or information sessions. But this gives you an idea of the CCPD workshops that are coming up. So virtual drop-ins, starting your LinkedIn, not sure what offer to take. We offer plenty of these workshops virtually that are available to you. And then you'll see here different types of company events and info sessions in here that would be available to you for assistance as well. Any questions? I'm going to go back to this. It's pretty intuitive and user-friendly. If you have any questions as you're using that platform, just let me know. So a little bit about today's kind of internship and job market. So just like every other industry, a lot of things are becoming automated. So we're finding a lot of students having a greater impact in their job and internship search when they consider about the applicant tracking system process, right? These companies are just having such a high volume number of applicants for positions that making sure it gets through the applicant tracking system appropriately is an important conversation as part of your career development, right? So is my formatting correct? Am I using language that will pick up? Am I connecting this to the job description, right? So those are important things that a career coach can really help you with. We offer a Beat the Bots workshop about once every 2 weeks that helps you kind of think about this process. And so keep an eye out for that as well. And a lot of companies are using one-way interview platforms as a way to manage the process. So instead of having a screening interview on the phone with a representative, they'll send you a link to do this virtual interview where it's automated, and they'll ask you a question and you'll respond virtually. And maybe it'll ask you 3 questions, and it uses that as a way to consolidate some of that. So using things like Interview Stream is a helpful tool to be more comfortable with those forms of technology. With the transition to virtual this past year from HR and recruiting, they're doing virtual networking events on a larger scale. So what's interesting about the Handshake platform is that an employer can post a networking event to Handshake and then invite every university that uses Handshake to that platform. So they're doing these multi-school networking type events that are available. So then we always talk to students about, okay, you attend these events with maybe 3,000 other students. Like, what does follow-up mean after that? And how do you set yourself apart as part of that process? Right, so a lot more virtual engagements. It saves them money. It saves them time. Some of them really miss that in-person engagement, but it can be an easier process for students to navigate as well, if kind of done appropriately. A lot more are utilizing LinkedIn as a form of recruiting. So that's been a bigger part of the conversation with students is, how do I really use LinkedIn in the most effective way? We're not sure what the future of career fairs will look like. They kind of have to still be virtual for the year ahead until maybe things feel a little bit more clear about what, from a public health standpoint, that looks like. But there's a lot of data to suggest that virtual career fairs might be here to stay, right? So being comfortable with that type of technology as well. And it's just new platforms for employer engagement. It gives you a chance to meet companies you might not have met before, and to work in a better system for your schedule. There's more remote and hybrid opportunities than ever before. A lot of people, when they started working remote, really enjoyed that process and then decided to pursue new opportunities when maybe they, instead of going back into the office, right? So we're seeing an increase in the ability for positions that are valued to be remote, or hybrid opportunities to work from home periodically, and just some general flexibility in that area. So you might find more remote opportunities. Before the pandemic, it was very hard to find them online, and now there are plenty of platforms that are specifically kind of devoted to that process. More people are leaving jobs and changing careers than ever before. And this is having impacts on campus recruiting as well, because there's not even enough talent acquisition or human resource or recruiters to kind of manage those types of opportunities, right? So there's a ton of positions in HR and recruiting right now to help manage this kind of inflow of what does this look like? So what we're seeing is sometimes at this point in the summer, we already are seeing things for maybe next spring. And that's just not happening because their focus right now is still filling those full-time positions and also filling fall opportunities as well. So there's a little bit of a delayed process in terms of the recruiting schedule. So we were talking to some students yesterday when we were on campus, and they were frustrated because they felt like they didn't see a lot of things for spring. And it's not them or their search, it's just kind of what the industry is happening right now. It also means there's just a lot more people applying for more positions, right? So there's a value of being more competitive in your application materials, using your network, but also gives you some better negotiation in current roles or in your future roles. And there's also a much stronger internship to full-time pipeline now, right? If you do well in an internship or a co-op, now more than ever, that could translate very well to a full-time position. We don't know what this means for a year or two. There's people out there who do kind of career forecasting, and they have different inputs about what this could mean for people who are job searching in a year or two. I think a lot of the remote things will stay. I think people might, if you look at historically how job trends look, in a year or two, we might see this again. But we're not sure what that looks like. But for now, the best thing that you can do is really be utilizing those career resources that are available to you, and setting a strong plan for being competitive for when you graduate, and starting as early as you can. So on our website, we do have future plans information of our graduates. So you can see the companies they work at, salary information. Sorry, I think I'm having some technology problems again. So if you look at it today, I think this week they're updating some parts of our website, and it might also be the future plans information. There should be the class of 2020, 2019, 2020, and 6 months after the May graduation, we'll have the class of 2021 data. So that will be available for you to see some of those things about where students are going. If you make a kind of a one-on-one appointment with us, we can kind of talk through more specifics, but it is confidential information. But this is just like a little geographic of within the United States where people go. A lot of students do stay in kind of the New England area, but a fair amount disperse to other areas. This is just a sample of the top 20 most prestigious internship programs for 2020. You'll see that a lot of these companies we have relationships with or might recruit on campus in some capacity. So keep an eye out or follow some of these companies as you're interested in those opportunities as well. Again, check our future plans data on our website. And really thinking about using the alumni networks that are available to you. We have an alumni association that's very involved and wants to be mentors to students. Use LinkedIn, the alumni feature. If you're not sure how to do that, we can help you kind of do that to do some research and outreach. A lot of our employers on Handshake, you can see if they are alumni, so seeing those kind of relationships and connections as well. You'll meet through the career fairs. A lot of times they'll bring alumni back at the career fair to have that, be able to talk a little bit more specifically about RPI. So engaging with them. There's a platform called Career Shift where you can search by employers by alumni. So you would just say, like, these are the companies. If I'm interested in working at IBM, and I want to search who went to RPI, it'll give you kind of a list of folks to connect with in their emails and their LinkedIn. And again, just Handshake is a tool for that as well.